Um, she said she wanted to meet with her. Like, she kept leaving, she wanted to talk to her. Do y'all know the lady called her to tell her that she was buying her a home? The lady wrote a check, and I sat inside of the home that somebody else had bought for her transitional house. And for whatever reason, the Most High is just
never force it. Faith and persistence are so important. Avoiding resistance when making our choices. I say a prayer and let the universe endorse it. Fortune's a fortune, all in my vortex. Wealth and endorsements, all in my vortex. All in my orbit, I'm changing, I'm morphing. Rise through misfortune, align with my sources and origin. I'm so divine, I'm so aligned.
Okay, y'all, so I literally just got up and grabbed my blanket and said, let me go to my desk and talk to y'all. So this morning I was coming out of meditation, and the Most High brought something back to my remembrance. And oh yeah, I was sharing with y'all about my publisher who coached me and helped me write my first book, right? I remember, and I believe she still have this saying that something like, what you do for other people, God will bless you, or something to that, like that. But anyhow, let me get to what I want to share with y'all. When I came out of my meditation, I don't know who need to hear this message this morning. I'm not sure who need to hear this message. When I came out of my meditation, the Most High reminded me. So if anyone ever read my first book, Overcoming the Battle, version 1 and 2, I know who I am and I know my identity. Then you know that I wrote about a transitional house. Let me just share, when I wrote that book, I had never lived inside of a transitional house. Wrote the book, published it, wrote the story in 2013. In 2015, I ended up living in a transitional house for 6 months, which just really did something to my heart and just put something within me to really want to be able to help women in such a way one day, right? So before I moved out of North Carolina and back to my hometown in 2019, I remember sitting in a lady house, and this is a story that she told me. So this lady had a transitional house where she was helping women, right? And the interesting thing is, I had no idea that in 2015, when someone in Charlotte was guiding me and directing me to a transitional house, which I was fighting because I was like, ain't no way in the world. I might as well just move back home. I wasn't making enough for the 3 times rent that they were asking for. So I had no idea what I was going to do. No based on income apartments was available. I'm just being very transparent, right? So I had a young lady I was working with that directed me to a transitional house so me and my daughters could have housing, right? And so I had no idea that this lady that I sat down with in 2019 was one of the first women who I called in 2015, right? So I had the opportunity, connected with her. I can't even remember how I connected with her. Maybe it was through an Uber ride, because I met a lot of my connections being an Uber driver. And I sat in her house, y'all, and this is a story she shared with me. I was there having a meeting with her because my coaching course, Revealing and Dealing to Healing the Heart, which was inspired from me living at the transitional house along with my mother, that's what inspired me to create that coaching course, right? I was sitting in this lady home, and I was having a meeting with her to present my coaching course, right, to help the women there. Did y'all know the lady shared the story with me, how she was living in another house that she was renting? This was for the transitional house, right? And something happened where they were having issues. I can't remember the whole story, right? Something happened with the home where then I guess the landlord wouldn't fix something or something like that, but then wanted to evict them. So she was telling me the story how they were supposed to have went to court one time, but then it snowed and something delayed it. Long story short, her story made it to the news, right? Her story made it to the news, and a lady called her, right? Lady called her, and she said she wanted to meet with her. Like, she kept leaving, she wanted to talk to her. Do y'all know the lady called her to tell her that she was buying her a home? The lady wrote a check, and I sat inside of the home that somebody else had bought for her transitional house. And for whatever reason, the Most High is just bringing that back to me. And so I just want to share with someone to understand that, okay, the dream, the vision that you have placed within you, you have to understand that the Most High will use whoever, wherever, and placed it on their heart to help you with that vision and to provide. But you have to just be willing and be open and trust, and also be in a position to receive. So I know who needed to hear that, but remember, when we change our mind, we'll begin to see our world change around us. Love y'all. Have a phenomenal day on purpose.